The definition of a diplomat is a man sent abroad to lie for his country. And China's ambassador here, I tell you what, this guy's working overtime to lie for the communist dictatorship of China. Last night he was back again on the ABC, which I think could have been a bit tougher on him, to be honest. And again, he threatened the 23 million people of Taiwan, an independent island democracy, with brainwashing and punishment if China does soon invade and take it over.
23 million in Taiwan. They are Chinese citizens. So when Taiwan is reunited together with the motherland, and they will receive the education, they will be together with the other 1.4 billion Chinese people. Because for those secessionists,
yes,
it's not a question of re-educate. They are going to be punished according to the law. They've been involved in the splitting Taiwan from China.
And the ambassador had the absolute hide to deny that 1 million Muslim Uyghurs inside China are already getting that re-education in concentration camps that are sweeping up men, women, even teenagers, to turn them into communist supporters of the regime, something that a United Nations report has finally confirmed after Chinese efforts to delay and suppress it.
In terms of what happened in Xinjiang, according to the UN, I'll just repeat, torture, cruel or degrading treatment, arbitrary detention, crimes against humanity. Should China be ashamed of what happened in Xinjiang?
So I will quote you from the report, the so-called report. I didn't read the report, but let me say this.
Did it stir in you any feelings of shame or revulsion?
No, not at all, because that's absolutely fabrication. That's absolutely fabrication.
Liar. Sue me. Joining me is Alexander Downer, Australia's longest-serving foreign minister, in my opinion, the best. Alexander Downer, thank you for your time. You dealt with China a lot 15, 20 years ago. How much more dangerous is it now?
Oh, I think it's fundamentally changed. I think it's become a great deal more dangerous. The China of Hu Jintao and Jiang Zemin was problematic enough for us, and I could quote you chapter and verse of problems we did have with them, but we did have a modus vivendi. But I'd have to say, under Xi Jinping, China has become very aggressive. Like a lot of rising powers through history, as their power increases, so their arrogance increases, and they've now started to overplay their hand. I mean, the interview that I just saw then from the 7:30 report with the Chinese ambassador demonstrates extraordinary insensitivity to the Australian public and public opinion in Australia to speak like that and behave like that. I mean, it just shows you the regime is completely out of touch with most of the rest of the world.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, you have talked to so many diplomats and ambassadors in particular in the past. I know they've got to lie for their country, but to do it with such effrontery, such shamelessness, and such brazenness, how many have you come across like that?
Well, he's doing that just from the talking points that have been sent to him from Beijing, so I wouldn't personalise the lying. I would say that it is very much the strategy of the regime to just try to put a spin on things and think that that's going to satisfy most of the rest of the world. I mean, it's absurd that looking at the interview and thinking about the arguments he makes that the people of Taiwan, 23 million people, have to be punished and re-educated. I mean, have they thought through even for 5 minutes what effect saying that is going to have on public opinion? What it does for the image of China, the regime of China, in the rest of the world. I mean, it's so damaging to the image of the country. You do expect, whatever you say about diplomats, you do expect them to put the country's best foot forward, try to persuade people to see things your way. Very poor diplomacy, but then Chinese diplomacy, the People's Republic of China's diplomacy over the last 5 or 6 years has been a very classic model of what not to do.